Hello everyone, welcome back to the Reese's Writing YouTube channel. Today we're doing a mid-February update, catch up, what I've been reading, what I've been watching. I've gone bold. I just had enough, shaved it off, and here we are, bold. What have I been reading? So last time we left off, I was in the middle of The Lathe of Heaven by Ursula K. Le Guin, and I finished Ursula K. Le Guin, and I finished The Lathe of Heaven, and really enjoyed it. It's one of those ones I think certain parts already sort of stick with me, like some really amazing ideas and some really amazing story beats and lines that I enjoyed. Really enjoyed The Lathe of Heaven. Short book. I don't know if you can call it a novel. I guess you could. Is my kind of stuff where it's like less hard science fiction, has science fiction like space future elements, but it's about the mind, and it's about what sort of problems you have as a person, and the dreams that can play on your mind, and the chances you get in life with people, and changing things entirely. Like, it's all about change and how you deal with change, and in a grander, more science fiction-y way. But yeah, really enjoyed The Lathe of Heaven. Really enjoy Ursula K. Le Guin's books as usual. And then I went on to... So this, if you saw my December recap, I did a book club book. This is another book club book, completely out of my realm, and it's because of Valentine's Day, it was more sort of romance, and like this is just this is called The Love of My Afterlife. It's so fucking glittery, and by Kirsty Greenwood, and it's like I have the analogy of, it's like Cadbury's buttons. Like, you start eating them, you're like, oh, this is pretty good, and then you just keep eating them, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this is they lose their luster, they lose their their initial punch, and by the end of it, you're like, why the fuck did I eat that? And why did I finish a whole bag of them? There was some things that were enjoyable in this bag of buttons, but at the end you're like, I shouldn't have done that. And yeah, that is sort of the book, and the title is misleading. It should be The Love from My Afterlife, because it's about her dying, finding someone in the afterlife that she falls in love with, and someone like a therapist has a sort of challenge, because the man that she falls in love with goes back. He's like he was actually just sort of unconscious on a dentist, just filled to the brim with sedatives, and somehow got to the afterlife in a dentist's chair, and he went back to real life. So the therapist, a little challenge, like, get in 10 days, fucking kiss this guy and you'll be able to live. And it is full of lots of obstacles, lots of pointless obstacles that come about just to carry on the book. There's some funny-ish moments, very cringy moments, lots of descriptions of objects and or like actors, like Timothy Chalamet, and like, you need to know who Timothy Chalamet is, and sometimes it just doesn't work. It's like, how can, like, you need to be a bit more creative, just saying a taller Timothy Chalamet is not a good description of character it just feels a bit lazy. And then she says about pianos that are very specific pianos, and like, I don't give a shit. I'm not a piano person, but if I was, I'd be like, I know exactly what you're on about, but this was really specific. It kind of felt like she just Googled a piano. Overall, though, I enjoyed it to a degree. Like, it was romance, and I do like romance in my books and films, and this was an enjoyable romance, but it felt there was a lot of filler and no killer. So yeah, that is that. And then I went on to the Mind Parasites by Colin Wilson. The Mind Parasite by Colin Wilson. This is another one that's I'm going into sort of inner space fiction, or science fiction that deals with lots of dreams and the mind state, how you can alter dreams, and the sort of psyche, the mind, how vast and expansive the mind is as a universe. I think that's a lot of what Colin Wilson deals with in The Mind Parasite and in The Philosopher's Stone, which I read in January. And there's about two sort of professors that discover something is very similar to The Philosopher's Stone, and I kind of wish I read this before The Philosopher's Stone, because I think I may have enjoyed this more. I preferred The Philosopher's Stone. This has a lot of good ideas. I really liked the first initial discovery of the mind parasites, uncovering like this ancient like statue, and then the unraveling of what the mind parasites are, this sort of thing that's been looming underneath the surface of human beings for centuries, just sort of alluding to it. I wasn't a big fan of the ending. I kind of wanted the ending to just finish. I kind of got bored with it by the end of it. It felt kind of like it was sort of replaying a lot of it, and it did kind of do that with The Philosopher's Stone. Colin Wilson has lots of descriptions about what he's trying to describe. There's lots of scientific explanations of things, as a professor would do, but I think it kind of got a bit too much in this one. And yeah, the ending, I wasn't a big fan of sort of the reveal of the mind parasites. I won't spoil it too much, but yeah. Overall, though, the Colin Wilson and his ideas of like things living in your brain, causing sort of depression and stuff, was really interesting, and something that could be like, on the outside it feels like it could initially be something that is the case. That's such a roundabout way of saying it, but and then it sort of goes bonkers by the end of it, which I wasn't a big fan of, and I think The Philosopher's Stone does it better. So yeah, and now I'm reading, I do not have it with me, I just realised while I was talking about The Mind Parasite that I don't have my current read, which is James Morrow's The Continent of Lies. Is that what it's called? The Continent of Lies? I think that's what it's called. And this is another in the space fiction-y thing. This is much more to do with dreams, and how they can find an apple called like the kef apple or something like that, and that can bring sort of, can make you dream a specific dream, and people grow these to create a specific dream, and then the main character is a reviewer of these dreams, which I think is a really cool idea. It's something that I kind of like, the exploration of reviews and the culture of entertainment and stories, reviewing stories, how like desensitized you can get from watching too much or watching too much graphic stuff, and the toll that has on you. And yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's kind of nice. It's kind of a different take on inner space fiction compared to Colin Wilson. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm maybe like halfway through it. So yeah, that is what I've been reading. I finished Hardboiled Wonderland on the old audiobook, Hardboiled Wonderland and the End of the World by Haruki Murakami. I finished that, and yeah, it's very similar to 1Q84. I preferred 1Q84. I think the sort of romance and the whole build up for me was done better. But Hardboiled Wonderland was really good as well. I enjoyed this world he created, of being trapped in this world. Yeah, I enjoyed the worlds he created, this sort of fantastical mixed with the real life, and how he blends them together is really well done. But as I said, very similar to 1Q84 with some changes, much more sort of based in science fiction, what Hardboiled Wonderland is, and compared to 1Q84, 1Q84 is much more sort of real life, and there's not much change. That's the whole point, is there isn't much change between the like two worlds. But in Hardboiled Wonderland, they are different, and yeah, good story though. He does this type of story really well, and I'm interested in reading more. Maybe I'll find something that's trying, if he's done anything different or something thingy. I don't know if it's the translation. I might be less engaging. I do know that like it can come across quite dry. But yeah, I didn't enjoy Hardboiled Wonderland as much, but I still liked my listening. And then film, I haven't watched. Compared to January, I watched a heck of a lot. I started February off with Playtime by Jacques Tati. This is incredible. Like the amount of coordination that goes into every single scene in this film is amazing. How they did it, like, it's just what sort of film can do in a form, like how it can show life and living in the moment. Like all these sort of amazing tiny little characters are so unique and different, and they have like little parts, but they sort of build and create this whole scene and this whole bubbling like over the top craziness that is just amazing. And I just in awe at how amazing this bonkers film is. It's really like, if you just go watch it, because it's just like I don't know, it's nothing really comes in, like nothing I've seen really touches it in terms of how well executed it is from every single person that's in a scene. Every like little person is there for a reason, and every little person has its part to play in this world that he's created. And yeah, amazing. That's fantastic. And then I watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind by Michael Gondry. And this is a romance about, it's like a science fiction-y romance. I wasn't expecting as much sort of science fiction, but this is also to do with dreams, but it's mainly the romance between the two characters, the two main characters, Jim Carrey Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet, their like bond is so sort of powerful. That's kind of the overarching like theme that is played with bonds and memories of love and specific points in one's life that just won't go away or won't leave them. And it's a really like probably one of the best romances that I've watched that's purely romance. And yeah, I think the only thing that let it down was the sort of ending. I think if the ending was a bit better, I would have probably given this 5 stars, but I didn't. Spoilers, but I gave it 4.5 stars. But yeah, really good film. Very Midwest emo-y. Like this shit's gonna be on a MySpace page. And yeah, just an amazing romance that I've never watched before, and I should have really, because it's full of social angst and teen angst and the anxiety that comes with romance, and like, I don't know, just stuff that filmmakers love to make films about. Social angst. Okay. And then I watched He Got Game by Spike Lee. And this is very sort of blockbustery. I know Spike Lee is probably less blockbustery then, but this is very sort of blockbustery, like sort of dad done wrong, and he's coming back to help his son who's sort of disowned him, and it's all about their sort of relationship and how the dad would do everything but with a like catch type thing. And it's about basketball. It's about fame, like what happens to people when they sort of become amazing at sort of basketball, how they can, how fame can destroy them, or like how love and drugs and crime can get people into bad ways and send them down the wrong path. I think that's a lot of Spike Lee's sort of stories and films have that theme of what if you took the wrong path, and how to not take the wrong path, But yeah, I quite liked it. I don't think I was amazed by it. It felt, I don't know, it didn't feel that interesting. Like the story wasn't interesting to me. It felt like I could see it coming, see where it was sort of going. An enjoyable sort of watch. Spike Lee does some weird editing in most of his films, really weird. And some of the acting felt a bit rough and amateur, a bit too amateur, and it didn't allow for that. And then I watched 500 Days of Summer, another romance, even though it's not a romance, by Mark Webb. This has Joseph Gordon-Levitt and the other person from Elf. That's what I know it from. This was good. I liked the sort of play on the romance, but it is very stereotypical romance of this guy falling head over heels. Like, he was super overdramatic, like comedically, cartoonishly overdramatic about falling in love with this girl, falling in love with this woman, and I felt that a bit cringy at times. It was far too much, but overall the story was good. How it sort of flicked between like one day of summer and then 20 days or like 100 days where it's sort of changing, and like how relationships can, 1 minute you're in total bliss and then the next time maybe you're in the same place or same sort of situation and you're completely dead, or you're sad or depressed. It played with that quite well, and how things can change very quickly in like couples. But yeah, I wasn't that over like, I wasn't too I didn't like it that much. I think that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character was very, I don't know, I didn't really like him all that much as a character. He was just a bit too overdramatic and a bit too fucking, I don't know, he made some bad decisions. But I think that's all. Oh, I've also been watching Severance. Great TV show. Everyone should watch it. It's one of the best. It's probably the best TV show out there at the moment. So good, about workers that have an implant that can separate their lives outside of work and their person's inside. Their work person. So they switch. So like, pretty much, you erase work, and but you're a completely different person. You're like a newborn baby almost, and it's just amazing, and you should go watch it. And that is it for the update, the mid-February update. Let me know what you've been watching, listening to, and I'll see you in the next video. And my battery's gonna run out. It's not run out yet. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.